Hakadosh Boker Or Bekiim Bahalkacha 3, day 80, Siman Yudchet, page 173, Halacha Aleph. We're talking about now Zman Tzitzit, Ksut Laila. So to minute the time of Tzitzit, and what happens if you have a clothing which is designated for the nighttime. Halovesh Begadim Yual Lilvisha Balayla. If you're going to come and you're going to wear a pajama, that's what it says, Kimo pijama, right, or pajama. The Gamlov Sho Balayla. And you're wearing it at nighttime. It's going to be patur according to everybody from Tzitzit. Why? Because it's Ksut Laila Balayla. You remember that was the Rambam yesterday. Ksut laila balayla zelechuli alma. So the minute it's also ksut laila, but it's also, which that was like the Rosh, but that is patur, and it's also zman laila, but that's like the Rambam. But if you're going to wear the ksut laila during the daytime, it's a machloka rishonim chayav tzitzit, right? We remember that according to what? According to the Rambam, since you're wearing it during the day, you're going to be chayav, and according to the Rosh, since it's ksut laila, it's going to be patur. However, you do not make a bracha. The same lacha the other way around. Right? He says, or if you're going to put on a beged which is dafka done during the daytime or day and nighttime, during the nighttime. Again, it's machlok rishonim between the Rosh and the Rambam. Here, according to the Rambam, you're patur, because you're wearing it at nighttime. So we go after zman laila, and according to the Rosh, you're going to be chayav because it's ksut yom. Again, we go according to Lachmir, and therefore you put on the tzitzit, but without a beracha. That means the only time that you're ever going to make a beracha is if you have both. Meaning you need beged yom v'bayom. That's when you make a beracha. Okay, until here we're clear. Very good. Bet. The same halacha would apply to clothing that you wear during the day and night. Because since you also wear it during the day, you're still going to be chayav even according to the Rosh. You're going to do it during the day. Halacha number 3. Okay? Ka'amur, shalovesh tzitzit balayla en lo levarech alav, v'dat ha'mekubbalim v'kama poskim en libosh talit gadol balayla klal. When we're talking about the tzitzit balayla, you're not allowed to make a bracha. According to the mekubbalim, you're not supposed to put on talit gadol at all during the nighttime. Okay? Obviously, other than Kippur, we do it. And we always make a bracha during the day. Right? Yes. So he says like this. He says, according to Rabbeinu Asher, right? Look at number 233. According to Rabbeinu Asher, a daytime garment must have tzitzit attached to it, even if it's going to be worn during the nighttime. That was the Rosh. Even according to the Rambam, who ruled that it exempt, you're still permitted to wear it if it has tzitzit, but you just don't make a bracha. The Rambam ruled clearly that it's permissible to wear tzitzit at nighttime, even though it's not a mitzvah, whether on weeknights or Shabbat night as well. Maran explained in the Betu said that the Rambam taught us that a person that does not violate the rule of Al Tosif by wearing tzitzit at nighttime, even though he's not obligated. Furthermore, the Rambam taught us that when we wear tzitzit while going out on the Friday night, and it's not considered carrying, even though there's no mitzvah. So the minute he's coming, he's giving you 2 chidushim. Number 1, it's not a bal tosif, meaning you're not adding on to a mitzvah, which is an avirat to add on to mitzvah. Plus, it's not considered carrying, but at the end of the day, it's still fine. But Ben Yosef Titrani, the Marit, he comes and he writes, right, that he ruled that it's forbidden to wear a 4-cornered garment at nighttime when tzitzit attached, even without saying a bracha. If someone does wear it, he violates the going of a mitzvah taseh, a bal tosif. Obviously, we are permitted. We go like the permitted. Which one? Yes. Talit gadol at nighttime. So let's speak about talit gadol. So he says like this: the Beit Chadash, the Bach, he ruled that in those communities where the cantor wears a talit gadol during the mincha of fast days, he should make sure to take it off before Arvit. Right? If he would keep the talit on, it would appear that he's demonstrating that there's an obligation to wear tzitzit the nighttime. By the way, this could happen on Motzei Kippur. On Motzei Kippur, you take off the talit, and Arvit, Motzei Kippur, you already took off the talit, and then you have right the response that Yigrom Moshe added that even according to the Bach, it is permitted to continue wearing one talit at nighttime. No, you're allowed to. The problem applies only to talit gadol, since people usually make a bracha on it. So since it's customary not to make a bracha with talit katan, there's no reason to avoid it. That Rav Chida said responsible of the Kabbalist of Yosef Giktala, the ruling that it's absolutely forbidden to wear talit gadol at nighttime. Rav Chida said that although it is known, right, that the Shirei Knesset sometimes remain in the talit and tefillin after sunset, and even clearly restated arvit with it, we must make sure to take them immediately after sunset. Concurring with this, Rav Chaim Vital tells that the Rizal took the greatest care to avoid wearing talit and tefillin after sunset. As the sun disappeared beyond the horizon, right, he would remove the tefillin from his head. After citing these sources, the Kaf HaChaim Sofer added that the Hechal Alafim ruled that if someone is about to say mincha and he realizes that the sun will set during Amidah, he should not wear talit and tefillin, and the Kaf HaChaim disagreed. And he said in such a case, even the Arizal would pray with the tefillin. Right? Meaning that if in the middle of Amidah, it's going to get Shekiah, he would still do with the talit and talit. Yeah, with Yitril, so it's fine. Okay? So I said that you don't wear talit because... Halacha number hey. בליל כיפור נוהגים להתעטף בציצית מבעוד יום כדי להתפלל ללמוד בכוונה ולעמוד בהמה ויראה, וקודם שיתעטף יברך השם וזמנו להתעטף בציצית. So the custom is the night of Kippur, we do wear talit gadol for Arvit, right? And therefore it's to enhance our ability to concentrate. So he comes and he says, if someone puts on the talit before sunset, he makes the bracha of litatef betzitzit. 234. Although some of the poskim, by the way, this is the first time that I see that like red line that he put it to stop the day over there. So he says like this, although some poskim ruled that one must not wear a talit gadol at night, as explained above, right, he says over here, the custom is of wearing during on Kippur is an ancient one. The Achronim, including the Bach, explained that the person wearing talit on Yom Kippur is to emulate the malachim, right? The prophets envisioned as wrapping in white garments. The Machtita Shekel side of the Midrash, teaching the Yom Kippur, the Satan, the Malach HaMavet, right, the Yetzirah, he's here amidst to Hashem. He says you possess one nature in the world that are like angels. They're dressed in white. They're covered in white robes. The Kabbalah Tufel asserted that there's also a sound basis according to the Kabbalah to wear talit on the night of Kippur, and he testified that is the custom of the Mekubalim in Yeshivat Bet El. So when do you do the bracha? So he says like this: if someone put on his talit before sunset in the afternoon, before Yom Kippur, he says the bracha for the mitzvah. Talit is considered a daytime garment, and if it's worn during the day, it makes a bracha. Nevertheless, the opinion of Rav Hamazulai, which is the grandfather of the Rav Chida, is that one should not say the bracha in this case. Rav Chaim Falat should follow the stringency. Yafelev explained that this ruling is based upon the principle that we do not make a bracha for practices that are not more than a custom. Meaning, it's a minhag, so we're going to make a bracha on it. Right? Putting on talit on the night of Kippur is a custom, so if we don't make a bracha, the Rishon LeZion refuted this, however, saying that since putting on talit during the day is a full-fledged mitzvah, and it's not an ordinary custom, right? So therefore, it's not like to just stam the Oshana Rabba, the Oshanot. So he comes to Chatavat Arava. So he says putting on a talit on the afternoon before Yom Kippur is no different than putting on any other afternoon, and therefore you will make a beracha. Okay, and the same thing would go on a fast day. So he says in conclusion, anyone who puts on as long as it's going to be before sunset, again for sure is going to make a beracha. What about the arvit on the end of Kippur? Okay, so now he comes and he says like this. He says that Arvit on the end of Kippur, Shirek Knesset Gedolah wrote that since we wear the talit on Kippur to emulate the angels, it makes sense to continue wearing it for the Arvit after the Kippur as well. I mean, Shabra agreed with this, ruling that one should not take off the talit until after Arvit. I mean, the Mishabra is saying keep it on Motzei Kippur. The Kavachim, however, testified that Kasam Yeshiva Betel is not to wear it during the Arvit of Kippur. You take it off. The night after Kippur is no different than any other night during the year. And the Lachabra likewise ruled that one should not wear it during the Arvit of Yom Kippur. So again, you have a machloket. You have Shirek Knesset Gedolah and Mishabra against the Kavachim and the Lachabra. Those people do not always conduct themselves with the stringency of the Kabbalah. May rely upon the poskim who permitted it. So he himself is also saying the same thing. So to a minute, yesh mekubalim, right? So fine. So Ben Adam shu oseh hakol kemo Kabbalah. So fine. So Ben Adam is mekubal. Mekubal aloki. Okay, fine. So he does it. That's fine. But if a person is not a mekubal, so there's no problem. He could do whatever he wants. Yeah, in fact, the Ish Matzliach says that in principle with the Kavachayim, but he testified that the common custom is like the Shirek Knesset Gedolah. That means even if he's going to agree the Kavachayim that technically you should take it off, the custom is not like that. The custom is that they leave it on. Furthermore, most people do not bring their hats to the Bet Knesset on Kippur since they pray wearing the talit. And those who have that practice, it's a commanded custom to wear a hat during the tefillot. It's important to continue wearing the talit then on Motzei Kippur, so they cover their heads, right? Again, it's a commendable practice to have. So therefore, if it's going to be commendable, זה דבר טוב את הכובע. עכשיו, אין להם כובע, בגלל הם שמו את הטלית. אז שהם ישיכו את הטלית במוצאי כיפור. Yeah, Rabbi Kiva also added another argument in favor of wearing the talit on Motzei Kippur. He says, according to the Zohar HaKadosh, if one says Shema without wearing tzitzit, he's guilty of testifying falsely. Maybe they do check about small. Since many people do not wear talit katan under their shirts, they must wear their talit gadol in order to avoid starting the new year with the wrong tone. So the minute יש לך הרבה אנשים שהם לא הכי חרדים. הם מגיעים לכיפור. כיפור, remember, אנחנו מתחילים להתפלל מהעבריינים, right? We have everybody. So now, if you're going to come and everyone's going to take off the talit, you just caused that this person was made to do check about small. Why? We have talit katan, Baruch Hashem, but not everybody does. So you just stopped him from doing arvit, from saying kriyat shema with the talit. Because at least he has talit gadol. He doesn't have talit katan, but he has talit gadol, so it would have been fine. Nachon, but again, one more time. A person that comes and he's going to be reading it, so therefore, so that's what he's saying. So therefore, says Rabbi Kiva again, those who wish to follow the ruling of the Kavachayim should make sure that they have to bring their hats to the synagogue, so that way they can wear their hats, right, during the Arvit. Okay? Fine. Bezat Hashem, we continue tomorrow.